and thank you for checking out the Sportsline Podcast on CHCH and Parrot TV. I'm Bubba O'Neil. As you know we love to do, we uncover amazing sports stories from Southern Ontario, and in particular, the Golden Horseshoe. And folks, as you know, there are so many. Today, a university program that's rocking and rolling on the pebbled ice surface. Last season, the Open Eyes hit the OUA curling community, winning a second provincial title in 3 years. A short time after that, McMaster's women's curling team went right down to the wire at the U Sports Final, losing by one to Laurier. This season, the team have returned, earning a silver at the OUA Final in Welland, and have qualified for that upcoming national championship in Regina. Let's say hello to Marauders skip Clara Dissanayake. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm so excited to talk to you about what's going on at your program. And I got to start right here because I didn't really know much about the Marauders curling program, and in particular, the women's squad. But you guys are hot.
Yeah, it's been our 4th year now. We've had some great success for sure.
Why? What changed with the program? Because you have been there. You're a 4th-year student. What all of a sudden changed where you guys have been able to assemble talent and, again, pushing national titles now?
Yeah, it's been a build over the past couple of years. 2 of our members, so me and Evelyn Robert, we've been on the team for 4 years now. Curling is a really tightly knit sport, so having that camaraderie over multiple years has really pushed us to success multiple times now.
I have to ask, so prior to going to McMaster, was there any love for curling at that time?
On my part?
On your part, for sure.
Yeah, I've been curling for multiple years. I've been playing competitively since I was about 15 or 16. And then, I decided to join McMaster University, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. Now, okay, let's take me back to those years in Sudbury where you grew up. Yeah. When you were, say, an 8-year-old Clara.
Yes.
What sports were you playing, if any?
Oh my gosh, all of them under the sun. Yes. I've always loved sports. I was actually a big downhill ski racer. So I was big into alpine skiing. I started curling when I was about 8 or 9, actually. But I was playing so many other sports. I was playing volleyball and soccer and hockey and all the big ones. Started curling when I was about 8 or 9 through my elementary school program. And then I kind of got big into curling maybe when I was about 15 or 16, started curling competitively on the under 18 circuit, and then moved up from under 20 through there.
At that point, I've always seen curling as a very adult sport. What made you get into it at such a young age?
Curling is actually very big in Sudbury. We have a ton of programs called Little Rocks, which is where they introduce really young kids to the sport. We have about 10 curling clubs in Sudbury, which is not so common down here in Southern Ontario. But it's really big up north, and both of my parents have always curled as well, so they thought it was kind of a natural sport to put me in. But we do see a lot of young kids up north starting to curl, and we're seeing that down south as well now too.
Well, okay, now give me the truth on this, because I've heard this sort of, philosophy for a long time that not only is curling a wonderful sport, it's a good social sport as well too.
Absolutely, yeah. Curling, first it's lots of fun, but it's also, you're playing on such a small team. There's only 4 members, so you get to be really tightly knit with your teammates. But then also playing in the curling community. It's not very large, as you can imagine, so you get to know all your opponents. With the McMaster team, we play in a league in Dundas, about 5 minutes from here, and you really get to know everybody in that league, and it's very social after games. There's kind of a custom in curling where the losers buy a round of drinks for the winners, buy a round of drinks for the losers.
Yes, nice.
So it just ends up being a lot of camaraderie, and everyone loves curling when they try it, so it ends up being a nice community.
I've tried it once.
Have you?
Yes, I have. This was actually not all that long ago, and I've said this to people, and I think I can associate this with golf as well too, because there's that belief with golf. It's like, it's just a stick hitting a ball. And it's like, well, you go out and try it. And then I tried curling, the same sort of thing, and what blew me away, and what makes me appreciate the great curlers at the world stage making these double, triple takeouts is the length of how far you have to set that rock down. Like, how far is it?
Oh, I don't know.
From the time you let it go, that's a long distance. And of course, I guess you're sort of aiming and imagining shots. How do you practice that? Or is it just straight practice?
Definitely a lot of practice, a lot of repetitions. I'm on the ice about 5 times a week practicing. But in curling, there's a person called a skip, and they're holding the broom. So that's what you're aiming at. And it's just a lot of throwing rocks at that broom, making sure that you're right on line. We also use lasers in practice. So you set up a laser and you make sure that the laser is right in front of the rock when you're sliding so that you know you're on the right line.
I'm glad you said the skip. Can you please, because there are, and for people that are learning the sports, and I think curling's at an interesting point right now because, I mean, you got even like Snoop Dogg that's interested in learning curling. Can you just tell? Yeah, you said there's 4 different people at the time. Yeah. There's an alternate. We know what an alternate is.
Yes.
But who are the other? In your case, who are the other women on your team?
All right. So on a curling team, you've got 4 people, right? You have 8 rocks for each team. So 8 rocks, 4 people. Each person throws 2 rocks. In the positions, we have lead, second, third, and skip. The lead is going to throw the first 2 rocks. So we're alternating with the other team. The lead's throwing the first 2 rocks. Of course, the second throws the second 2 rocks, and the third throws the third, and then the skip throws the last stones. So they have the most influence on where the end goes, per se. The skip is also the person holding the broom and kind of directing the play. So they're telling the players where to put the rocks. So we have a skip holding the broom and a person throwing the rock. The other 2 people are sweeping. So everyone is always doing something at once. There's always someone throwing, 2 people sweeping, and 1 person holding the broom.
What is the purpose of the sweeping?
The purpose of the sweeping, that's a great question. 2 main purposes. The first one is to make the stone go further. So when you're sweeping, you're actually melting that top layer of the ice, and it's making the ice smoother for the rock to go further.
Because it's pebbled ice.
It's pebbled ice, yeah. So there's little frozen water droplets on the surface of the ice. So it's not like hockey ice at all. And then the other purpose of sweeping is to make the rock curl. So you can have the rock either curl or stay straighter depending on how you're sweeping it. That's called directional sweeping.
You have a prop right here.
I do, yes.
Okay, so can you just, exactly everything you're saying, and you can grab it, please. Okay. Is there a surface on that, or
Yeah, you can touch it.
Okay.
It's kind of just like fabric, and then there's a foam piece in here, so you can push down on it.
Okay.
And these fabrics are actually very tightly regulated. There's only one specific fabric that you can use. And what it's done is when this rubs against the ice, it causes friction and it melts it a little bit.
Okay, so then for the old timers, I'm looking at this, and I'm an old timer. I'm like, wow, this is amazing technology, because when I first started watching curling, there were actual fabric brooms. How did it change to this? And why is this better than a broom?
Than the old corn brooms?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those corn brooms were kind of meant more to clear debris away from the stone, which is still what it's used for now. But those kind of fabric-y brooms that you're talking about, they're not really melting the ice as much as this is. As you can see, this is a flat surface, so there's much more surface area on the ice. So it's creating much more heat than those old brooms would.
Folks, Curling 101 right here. Clara, you're doing an outstanding job. This is fantastic. Learning so much, and I know a lot of people are, because there is a huge interest in curling. And I say that because I hear a lot of my friends, in couples, that are curling right now, and it's bringing people together, which is unbelievable. Okay, so you talked about Sudbury. How do you get to Mac, and why?
Yeah, both of my parents actually went to McMaster, so it was kind of a natural path for me. They've always talked about it, visited the campus, and I loved it. And of course, I knew that they had curling. At the time when I joined McMaster, they had 2 players, Maddie Warner and Grace Lloyd, that I knew were fantastic curlers, and I thought, well, I would love the opportunity to play with them. So I came to McMaster.
And what were you studying at the time?
I'm in kinesiology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is there an end result, or is there just, what is it about kinesiology that you love?
I love kind of the study of movement and how people move. I'm also a strength and conditioning coach at the university, so I just love all that exercise, just how people move. I think it's so fascinating.
So hold on, you're the team doctor too.
Not exactly, no.
But you would know more than a lot, I would presume.
Perhaps, yeah, perhaps.
You can brag. Come on, it's fine. I think that's awesome, though. Okay, so you're out there. You've come in. But one other thing I'd like to ask, like we've seen so much diversity in a lot of sports right now, and the fact that, you know what, for a lot of times curling was just a men's sport, and now women are getting involved, and then women and men of different colors and countries. Like, what is your background?
Yeah, so I'm half Sri Lankan and half Italian. That is my background. Yeah.
Half Sri Lankan and Italian right now. Like, I mean, and now we have Team Italy, I think, involved as well too. Like in a lot of these worldwide competitions as well too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fabulous, fabulous. I think it's a wonderful thing and a wonderful aspect to look at our sports right now and our changing communities as well too. And I think McMaster University would be one of the leaders in the fact that you do have so many people from so many different parts of the world that are coming together. And in your sport, which quite honestly, as many would see as kind of a white sport.
It's true.
Right? That's changing right now. Like I've said to you, I think I said to you off camera, all of a sudden we've got, like at the Olympics right now, Snoop Dogg is a big deal right now in curling. And he's talking curling, which I think can only help the sport.
Absolutely, yeah. Curling has always been very underrepresented, I think, and often misunderstood as well. So it's great to have all these celebrities and all this diversity coming into the sport. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, they probably realize, oh my goodness, how hard that is as well. Yeah. Hey, let's get back to the program here that's been doing so well. Before we talk about what's going on this year and you guys going off to the Nationals, I got to go back to last year. You got that OUA title last year, right?
Yep.
And you go to the Nationals. First of all, what's it like representing your McMaster Marauders, your school, on a national level?
It's incredible. I mean, it's what every student athlete dreams of, representing their university with their teammates. A little bit stressful too, definitely some pressure, especially as the women's team going and not the men's team. You feel a little bit extra pressure, but it's really just an incredible experience, and I'm very grateful to have had it 3 times now.
You get to the final last year.
Yes, we did.
All right, let me know. Let us all know. I think I said it off the top, but let us know again what happened.
Yes, we did lose the final to the Wilfrid Laurier Golden Hawks.
An Ontario team too.
I know, and we beat them in the OUA final as well.
Wow!
And then lost to them at U Sports. Yeah.
What happened? Was it one of those things that maybe sits with you a little bit because you think you guys could have done better, or did they? Not to say they didn't deserve, but they took it from you guys.
It was a super close game. It's always a close game with them. We've had many very tight battles. Of course, I like to think that we could have won that game if a couple things had have gone differently, but I do think that they deserved it. Their skip, Emma Uterchuk, made a fantastic shot on her last rock, and that's all you can do, really, is just applaud their efforts, and we just hope to get the title this year.
Glad you said last rock. One final thing I did not ask you, just to let us know in terms of our Curling 101, hammer.
Hammer, yeah. So hammer means having that last rock advantage. It's kind of like in baseball, having the bottom of the inning, you have the last say on what happens in the game. With hammer, you have the last rock, so you have kind of the final say on what happens there. Yeah.
Okay, so is it fair to say that after what happened with the success and that little bit of taste of like, oh, we were so close to winning nationals, was that a big motivational level for you guys to start off your season in 2025 in the fall?
Absolutely, yeah. And this year is actually a FISU year. So FISU is the World University Games. They happen every 2 years, and this year happens to be one. So a huge motivation for us, knowing that we got silver last year, hoping for gold this year, and a spot at those World University Games.
So if you win nationals, you will advance to that. Sorry, where is those? Was that competition this year?
The Worlds?
Yeah.
I think they're in China.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa, talk about fun and cultural and everything.
Absolutely.
And experience all tied into one, what that could be.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a lot on the line.
It is. It's true.
That's a lot on the line. Okay, so let's talk about the OUAs. Yep. You guys get to the final again, too.
Yep.
What happened?
We did lose the final. It was very close. The Guelph Griffins played a great game. We were just happy that we punched our ticket to U Sports. Of course, the OUA title would have been incredible, especially as a back-to-back win, but we did lose that game.
And it's, from what I understand, they're one of those up-and-coming teams, too. They hadn't won an OUA in, like, mega years.
No, I'm not sure when their last win was, but yeah, a team of all rookies.
Oh.
Yeah. So fun story. One of my teammates is actually on that team for my competitive team.
Okay.
Because I play on the under 20 circuit, and one of my teammates, Isla, is on the Guelph team.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, under 20, what Ontario or?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get to that as well too. I did not know that. Okay, as well too. Okay, so now let's say you're going to Regina.
Yes.
What's the mindset like for the side?
We're super excited. We would, of course, we have our sights set on the title, but we got to get through that round robin first, just taking it one game at a time. Really coming back to our processes, curling is super unpredictable. Pretty much never know what's going to happen, and upsets are very common. So just keeping focused, one game at a time, one shot at a time.
Is there something to be said, I mean, like a golf course, that you've got to kind of learn the course, or in this case, learn the ice?
Absolutely, yeah. No sheet of ice is ever the same. So it's not kind of like hockey ice where it's just a clean Zamboni sweep. There's different pebble on it every time, and then every sheet has its own little changes within it. It has little different peaks and valleys that you have to really learn. So I think we're playing on probably 7 different sheets, so we've got to learn each of them the same.
Kind of like, I guess, a professional bowler too, because they talk about the lanes sometimes being a little bit more greasy or oilier on each particular lane. And again, like you said, no particular lane is exactly the same.
Exactly, yeah.
I guess you have to learn it in that respect too. Yeah. Do you know much about the teams that you may be facing?
Yeah, we've played lots of them before at past U Sports. A couple of them will definitely have new players. But yeah, we've played a good number of them before, yes.
I have a board here of your teammates. Maybe you can just give me a little bit of the lowdown on each one of your teammates and what their expectations are.
Yeah, so that's me, Clara Dissanayake, the top one. We've talked about me lots. Maggie Fitzgerald, she's in her second year. She just joined us last year. She throws second rocks on the team. Maggie's a very competitive athlete, and we will be looking for some success again. Evelyn Robert, we have been together since our first year, so we've got lots of camaraderie. We've had lots of fun on the ice together. Rachel Steele is actually not playing on our team this year.
Okay.
Rachel, incredibly, won the women's provincial and went to the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, which you might have heard of.
Yeah, maybe.
So she unfortunately could not get enough time away from her placement. She's in occupational therapy school.
Oh, wow.
So she's not able to join us at U Sports, which is very sad. And she wasn't at OUA's either.
I'm sure she's cheering for you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I know she's really sad that she can't be with us. But Ella Wang, in her first year, she just joined us this year. She had some big shoes to fill with Rachel being gone, but she stepped up in a huge way. She actually picked up all-star honors at OUA's, which was incredible. And then Jacob Lamb, he just joined us last year as well. An incredible, incredible coach. We are really grateful towards him, and we probably could not have achieved the success that we did last year without him.
And that's interesting because so in your time, in your 4 years, you've had different coaches. What did he bring to the table that might have been a little bit different that you might add yourself, someone that's very educated and experienced in the sport? What did you take from him?
Jacob is probably one of the kindest souls you will ever meet. He just has that propensity for coaching athletes. He knows exactly what to say somehow at all times, and he's also very good strategically. So when you call timeouts in curling, you get the opportunity to talk to your coach, and they have some input on what shot you should play, where you should put the broom, what kind of weight you should throw. And he's really good at coming in those timeouts and having those key ideas that we might not have thought of, while also lifting us up and making sure that we're not getting down on ourselves. For example, in the OUA quarterfinal, we were playing the Laurier Golden Hawks, which was a repeat of the final last year. And we were down 5-0 after 5 ends, and we came back and won that game.
Wow.
And I don't think we could have done that without Jacob.
Really?
Yeah.
Strategy, or was it just confidence?
In terms of?
Coming back.
A bit of both. We needed to make pretty much all of our shots in order to come back from a deficit that big. But yeah, he really just kept us going and really got our confidence up higher.
As someone that's been on this side and experienced the ups and downs, and this is something that I'll see, I mean, we hear about crashing and burning in the sport and missing shots, and I'm sure every one of you guys are so competitive. How do you keep the union? I mean, maybe there's someone that you look at a shot and it's like, well, you should have made that, or you could have made that, or I could have made that. How is that? How do you maintain that sort of, or is that an individual thing where you have to sort of just maintain that team-friendly attitude in terms of, but still trying to make each other better?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, curling is so frustrating. It's so hard to make shots sometimes, and you just have to realize that everyone on your team is always trying their best. They're never trying to miss. They're always trying to do what's best for the team, and really reminding them in that moment that, you know, they really did their best. They didn't try to miss, and that we just have to make the next one. And if they have no more rocks to throw, then we just have to sweep as hard as we can. It's really about thinking about what your role is in that specific moment and how you can make your teammates better without tearing them down, because you know that they're trying to do well.
The mental is so important.
Oh, so important.
It's so important. I must ask you this. Do you have like role models? Is there someone that, you know, that has inspired you, or maybe someone you look to, maybe if it's in this sport or maybe not in this sport?
Absolutely. Oh, I have so many. McMaster graduate Grace Lloyd. She was also on Rachel's team, who won the women's provincial to go to the Scotties. I played with her for a year in my first year on the McMaster team, and she is probably one of my biggest inspirations. She's such a calm and collected curler while also being absolutely fantastic at what she does. And she really just helped to keep me grounded and remind myself that even if my moment hasn't come right then, it will in the future. Yeah.
When you look at the professional loops, I mean, I just obviously can think of the Olympics right now. I mean,
yes.
I know you guys are busy right now, but do you kind of peek in right now? Like, I'll ask you this. I mean, I think of like a Jennifer Jones, who's won multiple Scotty tournaments of hearts. Rachel Holman, who seemed to, she's just got a grasp on the sport right now, which has been so strong. I think she curls out of Ottawa. What makes a great curler? And someone like Rachel, that's not only a great curler, but consistently a great curler, always showing up at these world finals and ending up in the finals in the Scotties.
I mean, that's the thing, right? That's what we all want to know. I really do think it's a lot of time and repetition, not only as an individual, but as a team. Some of the best teams out there, you look at Canada, but you also look at Sweden and Switzerland, they've been together for like 5 to 10 years altogether. So of course we make all these new partnerships, but when you can really find one that lasts and is really good as a 4-person team or a 5-person team, that is so valuable in curling. It's not just shot making, it's all the communication and the team dynamics off ice and on ice that really make a good team.
Well, that's what's going on at McMaster, apparently,
yes.
Especially with the women's squad going to the Nationals. Regina, that's in a week?
Yeah, we leave on Sunday.
So right about now, next week, you might be lifting that national trophy. We wish you all the best of luck. Wish we could have brought more of you guys to talk about it. But if you win, or even if you bring home a medal, will you come back?
Absolutely. This is great.
Okay, I really appreciate it, and I hope a lot of people learned about your sport and learned about what's going on at McMaster. And if you're a potential high school student and you kind of, hey, what program do I go to? The Marauders. There you go. Look at her face. It tells the story all together in one there. Clara, thank you so much for coming in and joining us on the Sportsline Podcast. Continue success personally. Did leave out one question. You said that McMaster wasn't your only squad. Where else are you curling?
Yeah, so I actually play on the under-20 competitive circuit in Ontario.
Okay.
So I have a competitive team of my own that we compete with, separate from university curling.
Is there a name there? Is there a goal?
Yeah, our name is Team Eidson. We're named after the last name of the skip, so my good friend Brooklyn skips the team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any potential getting pro?
Yeah, maybe. We have the provincial coming up in about 2 weeks, and hopefully the national title from there. I have to knock on wood because I'm very, very superstitious. But yeah, that's happening in about 2 weeks, so busy season.
Well, enjoy it all. Enjoy
Thank
the
you.
experience. It sounds great. Fun to be young again and competing. Jack, we look forward to talking to you soon, okay?
Thank you.
All right, folks. That's your Sportsline podcast for the day. And if you've just seen and heard, we love talking sports, especially high-level athletes. If you do know of an athlete, team, or event to promote the Sportsline podcast, want to hear from you. Please hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe button. If you have something to say and you want to comment, we love your comments. For the outstanding people that make the Sportsline podcast possible, thank you so very much. And we'll see you real soon.